There are two main types of fat in your body: subcutaneous fat, which is the fat under your skin, and visceral fat. Visceral fat is that deep fat. So if you've got a dad bod, if you've got a beer belly, it's likely you have too much visceral fat. Now, having too much visceral fat is associated with a lot of things like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, metabolic dysfunction, and even cancer. So if you have too much visceral fat, it's really important you know how to lose it. Now, personally for me, I'm a coach, okay, I stay pretty lean year round. I keep my body fat levels generally below or in around 10%. So you might be looking at this saying, okay, well, it's good for you because you're a coach, it's part of your job, you need to practice what you preach. But we also help a lot of men who carry too much body fat and also have too much visceral fat. So I'm going to share with you 5 ways we had one of our clients, Aiden, who started with us at about 89 kilos, 25% body fat and carrying too much visceral fat. And inside 6 months, he went from 25 to 10% body fat using these 5 simple steps you can implement. Okay, the first one you're not going to like, and that is going to be reduce or eliminate alcohol and cut or reduce your trans fat. So starting out with alcohol, okay, if you drink alcohol, alcohol is pro-inflammatory, meaning that it causes inflammation in the body. And when you drink alcohol, your body prioritizes detoxifying and getting rid of this first before it focuses on burning body fat. Now for Aiden, he wasn't necessarily drinking alcohol too often, but more often than he would have liked. So he reduced his alcohol intake to roughly 1 time a month, which meant that he still go out with his partner, have a bit of fun, but just not as frequently. Trans fats then are found in takeaways, if you have too many highly refined foods, or if you get some cheap baked goods. And the problem with trans fats are they actually increase your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. And I know for Aiden, when he started, one of the big goals of his was that his cholesterol was like 7 or 8, and he wanted to lower that or reduce it to a healthier range. So we had to reduce his alcohol intake, we had to reduce his trans fat intake because he's having too many of those pro-inflammatory foods, and that was the first step we took. The second step we took was provide Aiden with our Metabolic Priming Diet. So most diets, they focus on restriction rather than restoration. So the first thing we started doing was restoring his metabolism to a healthy point so he could lose body fat while maintaining muscle mass. So some ways we did this are: number 1, the main principle is having mostly single ingredient whole foods. So 90% of Aiden's calories came from single ingredient whole foods, and 10% were still some of the fun foods or flexible foods that he could have every single day. So it didn't really feel like a diet, but more so a lifestyle change. Furthermore though, having a plant and a protein in every single meal was really important. This essentially helped Aiden stay fuller for longer so he wasn't hungry, and also to preserve his muscle mass. And then finally, focus on anti-inflammatory foods. So just like there's some foods that are pro-inflammatory, there's also foods that are anti-inflammatory. So he started eating more wild-caught salmon, chia seeds, sardines and avocado to lower some of his bad cholesterol and increase his good cholesterol. Ironically enough, when Aiden implemented a metabolic priming diet, inside his first 4 weeks alone, he lost 4 kilograms. Step number 3 is perform 4 metabolic resistance training sessions a week. So Aiden in the past, he would have done a lot of cardio because he played team sports. Now cardio is great for burning calories, but it's not very effective for burning body fat while maintaining your muscle mass. And the problem with too much cardio, especially long duration, is that can actually increase your stress, which raises your cortisol. And too much cortisol is also associated with an increase in visceral fat. So we got Aiden performing 4 metabolic resistance sessions a week. These aren't just your standard bodybuilding 3 sets of 10 programs. They're highly specific and customized towards him and his goals. So we got him lifting weights 4 times a week to preserve and to build muscle mass, do some conditioning to improve his cardiovascular fitness, and also when it comes to losing visceral fat, HIIT training has been shown to be highly effective. So we did HIIT training roughly once a week where we finished his workout with a high intensity interval session. Now this resulted in Aiden building more muscle, having a faster metabolism and looking super lean and feeling really proud of himself. Now step number 4 is managing Aiden's cortisol and stress. He was sometimes stressed at work and in his personal life too. So 2 things we found are very effective for. Number 1, just get him to walk more. When you walk outside, it's not just good for burning calories, but it's also an amazing way to clear your head, to have a clearer mind and a sharper mind. And step number 2 is sleeping more. Sleep, if it was a drug, okay, everybody would take it. But if there's one compounding habit that can have an impact upon reducing your stress, reducing your cortisol, and too much cortisol is associated with visceral fat, it's getting at least 7 or 8 hours sleep a night. So by implementing this and following our 10-3-2-1 sleep rule, 10 hours before bed, cut caffeine, 2 to 3 hours before bed, stop eating, and 1 hour before bed, stop working. This really helped Aiden reduce his cortisol, improve his sleep, and actually burn some additional body fat. And step number 5 was tracking the data. Okay, if you're not assessing, you're simply guessing. Now, Aiden took things to a higher level. Okay, we always ask your clients to weigh themselves every single morning. Aiden actually uploaded progress pictures every single day as well. It was just something that he wanted to do. We ask your clients to do it once a week, but he did it 7 days in a row, 7 days consistently because he just wanted to see his progress. And honestly, just tracking your data, so other things like tracking his food, tracking his lifts in the gym, and he had a one-to-one weekly call with one of our performance coaches, Ollie. This really helped him stay consistent and stay on track. But what I would say there is by him tracking his data and him seeing that, okay, my cholesterol is down, he reduced his cholesterol when he got his bloods checked also, but also his body fat is down, he was looking leaner, he's feeling stronger in the gym. Progress is addictive, and the more progress you make, the more results you want to see. So by Aiden tracking all this data, he knew he was on the right path to not only reducing body fat, but also reducing his visceral fat. So remember, if you've got a dad bod, if you've got a beer belly, you probably have too much visceral fat. And visceral fat, as I said, is the dangerous kind of fat that you want to get rid of. If you care about your health and longevity, this should be your number one goal to lose and reduce that. So following these 5 steps are: number 1, reducing alcohol and trans fat. Number 2, consuming an anti-inflammatory, high-protein diet rich in fiber and healthy fats. Number 3, metabolic resistance training 4 times a week and sprinkle in some conditioning and hit finishers. Number 4, reducing your stress and your cortisol by walking more and sleeping at least 7 hours. And then number 5, tracking the data so you know if you're on the right or the wrong path. And if you want my step-by-step strategy of how to lower your own visceral fat so you can get leaner, you can live longer, you can feel better in yourself and in your clothes, I'll post it in the description below. Just click the link and you'll have a full guide there explaining the step-by-step system that we implement with Aiden and our one-to-one performance clients. That is all for now though. I hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you in the next one.